Anyone that is involved in designing marketing strategies needs to understand the concept of generic competitive strategies. This is the foundation for all strategy development. And of course, I have a couple little quotes here, as we always do to start this off. That is, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Don't email me about cats. This is a famous old line about there's more than one way to make things happen. The old story, it's my way or the highway. Well, there are lots of different ways to be successful in business, and generic competitive strategies will help us identify what those might be. The fewer the resources, the more important the generic strategy. That is, the fewer resources I have, the more important it is that I get my generic competitive strategy right from the very beginning. Michael Porter talks about 4 generic competitive strategies: cost, leadership, differentiation, focus, and middle of the road. So let's spend a little bit of time talking about these, starting with cost leadership. Cost leadership is a strategy where we get above average returns due to lower costs and similar prices. Cost leadership means that I'm the firm with the lowest costs, not the lowest prices, just the lowest costs. This allows me to charge about the same as the competition and still make more money per unit and more profits over time. So once again, cost leadership is not the company with the lowest prices, it's the organization or the firm with the lowest costs. The firm must identify, to be successful, the firm must be able to identify the cost drivers, concentrate on efficiency. They must be focused on production, automation, distribution, and integration. And it is sustainable if there is an economy of scale. Remember from your economics class, an economy of scale refers to the fact that each unit costs less to produce if you produce more of them. If there is a learning curve, that is, if the cost of the units go down as you become more skilled at producing those products, or if there is a location advantage. Some of the skills and resources needed to be a good cost leader: process engineering skills, intense supervision of labor, tight cost controls, understanding the idea that what it is that costs the most to produce your product and how you can best manage those costs. Some of the pitfalls associated with cost leadership, that is, you spend so much concentration on manufacturing that you forget to listen to the customers. And so you end up producing a very low-cost product that no one wants. Another problem might be the inability to identify the right cost drivers, or the false perception of cost drivers, or perhaps a technology change that nullifies all of your cost advantage that you've invested in. Differentiation. Well, differentiation, you get above average returns due to uniqueness of the product or service, resulting in less competition and therefore higher prices. It's a viable strategy if it creates a way of dealing with, it's a viable strategy if the uniqueness creates value for the customer. Some ways to differentiate your product, maybe on quality, maybe on design, maybe on image. The whole point here is to differentiate your product from the competitors' products in a way that creates value for your customers. Some skills and resources necessary to be good at differentiation. You need strong marketing abilities. You need to be able to understand what your customers' wants and needs are and what's important to your customers. You need to be good at product innovation. You need to be good at product research and design. You need strong skills, strong ties between product development, operations, and marketing. And the truth is, to be good at differentiation, you need skilled marketing people. Some of the pitfalls associated with differentiation: the uniqueness that you come up with lacks value. That is, my product is different from the competition, but not in a way that creates value to the customer. And as a result, my product is different. It just doesn't have any added value. It might also be a problem that your product is too expensive to differentiate, or you ignore the need to signal that differentiation to your customers. For instance, here at UNLV, we're an AACSB accredited school. That's a great big deal, and it makes our students more competitive in the marketplace. But virtually no one knows very much about that accreditation and the importance that accreditation is for you as a student. A third approach to doing business is a focus strategy, and this is above average returns due to a focus on serving a particular buyer group, focusing on a particular product line, or focusing on a particular geographic market in a way that creates a unique product or service or results in a cost advantage. This is based on the notion that focusing on a target will result in more effective and more efficient products. The focus can result in lower costs, better, more valuable differentiation, or both. Targets that should be selected which are the least vulnerable to substitutes and where the competition is the weakest. Skills and resources needed to be good at this strategy. You need to stay focused. You need to have a combination of the above mentioned skills for cost leadership and differentiation. You need to have an appreciation for the target and knowledge of the target, whether that be a focus on something that is a production aspect, something that is a product-focused aspect, or something that is a market-focused aspect. For instance, you might focus on a senior market for a particular product line. Or if you're an automobile company, you might focus on four-wheel drive, like Jeep does, as a focus strategy, and try to become the four-wheel drive company. Some of the pitfalls associated with the focus strategy is you might get out-focused. That is, you're focusing on one thing and someone else even out-focuses you more. Your focus loses value to the customer, or the focus loses its cost benefit. The last strategy that Michael Porter talks about is stuck in the middle. This is not a strategy that companies typically try to pursue, but they sort of end up there anyway, and many companies end up being stuck in the middle. It also can be referred to as a one-size-fits-all strategy, or a mass marketing strategy, or a strategy where we say, we're everything for everybody. Low profits are almost always guaranteed to the price-sensitive customers being attracted to cost leaders, and customers looking for differentiated product being lost to highly differentiated oriented firms that add value with their differentiation. Firms that are stuck in the middle must make a fundamental strategy decision to pursue one of the other viable strategies mentioned above. In summary, there are three potentially successful generic competitive strategies and one strategy that tends not to be profitable. When you think about highly successful products like Apple, think about how they are focused. And when you think about product companies that are not very successful, ask yourself if they've somehow gotten stuck in the middle.